All right, sisters and brothers, let's go ahead and stand. Let's face Jerusalem. Let's go ahead and open up this morning. We're going to recite Yah's prayer. We're going to repeat after Brother Michael. Go ahead, my brother.
Yahawah, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so in earth. Give us day by day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone that is indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Yahawah's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we have a couple selections from the choir.
Testing, 1. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Everybody.
Testing.
You love God, you will keep all His commandments. For Yahawah, He is a mighty and jealous God, showing mercy only to those that love Him. If you love God, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna keep God's word. I'm living in the truth right now. Right now. Don't you understand that this is not a game? Your life's in His hands right now. Right now. Oh, God. You love God. You will keep all His commandments. For Yahawah, He is a mighty and jealous God. Showing mercy only to those that love Him. If you love God, mercy for you. Acting like you're so righteous, not living in the truth right now. Right now. If you hear His word and be obedient, you can make a change right now. Right now. You love Yah. You will keep. Oh, you will keep all His commandments. For Yahawah is a mighty and jealous God, showing mercy only to those that love Him. If you love God, you love you love Yah, keep them. If you love Yah, you will keep them. If you love Yah,
God's
if you
commandments.
love Yah, you will keep them. If you love Yah,
God's word.
Yah, you will keep them.
You love Yah, you will keep all His commandments. For Yahawah is the mighty showing mercy only to those that love Him. If you love
Yah, keep them. If you love Yah, you will keep them. If you love Yah, keep them. If you love Yah, you will keep them. If you love Yah,
God's
you will keep them. If you love Yah,
God's word.
you will keep them.
You love Yah, you will keep.
I know you will keep
all His commandments.
on Yahawah.
Yahawah is the mighty shepherd, showing mercy only to those that love Him. If you love God.
Amen. How many of us need the Lord today? Amen. We need Him every single day of our life. Amen. Know this song, stand up on your feet and sing with us. All right.
We need you, Lord. Come and please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you.
We need you, Lord. Our people out here dying every day. Lost in this world, just wasting away. No one seems to care. Are you really there? Help us now, Lord, we can carry on.
What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You say if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord. Come in. Please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you.
We need you, Lord. We are crying out to you, oh Lord. The enemy, he's coming to destroy. How will it be so? We feel left alone. Help us now, Lord, we can carry on.
What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You say if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord.
Lord. Come and please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you. We need you, Lord. Crying out to say what? Help us heal this land. Nothing else to do. What? We'll follow your command. We will turn from our wicked ways. Help us, please, Lord. We need you today. What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You say if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord. Come in. Please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you. We need you. How many of y'all need him? We need you. How many of y'all need the Lord? Come in. Come in. Please save us, Lord. We don't know. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're tired now. But we're calling you. We're calling you. We need you, Lord. Crying out to you. Help us heal this land. Nothing else to do. We'll follow your commands. We will turn from our wicked ways. Help us, please, Lord. We need you today.
Praise y'all, saints. Praise him. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. Check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us a moment online, sisters and brothers, while we get the room changed around. Give us just a moment. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That sound good to y'all out there?
Amen.
Real loud. Need everybody to hear here today. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just rub it.
that's on about the same. Check, check. Oh yeah, check, check. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sisters and brothers, I'm gonna give everybody a moment to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might need to turn off the mic. The speakers out this way. Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Yeah. That's what we want. Yes, sir. All right, sisters and brothers, I want to welcome you to the Multitude of Christ ministry. I want to welcome you to yet another Sabbath day of the Most High Yah. Here at the Multitude of Christ, we seek to teach all nations of people how to find true salvation according to the Holy Scriptures. So my name is Pastor Johnny. For those of you who do not know, my reader today will be Brother Michael. And what we're going to do today is we are going to go into the Year of Yahawah Part 3. The Year of Yahawah Part 3. I'm going to do my best. I'm trying to end this series. You know, I've been giving counsel and advice not to try to overwhelm you with too much information, because if you're not doing the level of studying that I'm doing, I mean, a lot of what I say is going to fall on deaf ears. It's just too much for you to keep up with. But for some of you that are right there trying to put the piece of the puzzle together, hopefully if this information will link things together and help you along the way. So in part 2, you know, we were trying to dispel the Harry Potter on your minds, and many of you thought it was just Pastor Johnny speaking and Brother Mike, we're just trying to be funny. But truly, we're not here on the Lord's Sabbath day to amuse you and to give you entertainment. This is not a blog radio show. This is a church of the Most High Yah, and we are his people, and we are truly trying to give you the tools you need and the information you need to save yourself. Amen. Right? So one of the things that say, so what is the calendar and what does all this information have to do with salvation? Well, for one, you got to get the Harry Potter off your mind of replacement theology. That's one thing. If you're coming from the theology that the Israelites were replaced, that's how far the rabbit hole goes with you. That's how far the deception and everything is on top of that. So you got so many lies and so much stuff you got to move away from yourself just to get out of the matrix. We are not in your way. We are not causing a stumbling block. We are trying to shed that light in your dark state of your mind and wake you up from your slumber, sisters and brothers. Amen. So that is our attempt, because how can you keep the feast if you don't know anything about it? You know, so long have we been programmed since childhood, through school, through church. We just going along to get along. Ain't nobody questioning nothing. You're actually told not to question the teacher, don't question the pastor. So you just been brainwashed and programmed from a young age. But when I was a child, I thought as a child and did as a child. You're an adult now. Nobody can tell you to do nothing now. You can come out of the matrix and out of the Harry Potter programming. You can break the spell. That's all that we're trying to do, is help you save yourself, sisters and brothers. So we're going to get into part 3. We're going to get into more information about the calendar and the year of the Most High Yah, so that we can answer any questions and any fiery darts that may be thrown our way. If it's not information coming out of meekness in order for us to reason together, dialogue, you know, we are totally defensive-minded and offensive-minded people here. We use the scriptures to reprove and rebuke. So if you're not coming with the scriptures, we're not going to be hearing it anyway. Amen. Right? We don't deal with a lot of philosophies of men. We talk about scripture, sisters and brothers. So before we get started, Ask the brother to open us up with prayer, and then we'll get right into it. Amen. Go ahead, Brother Mike. Open us up with prayer, brother.
Yahawah Most High,
Yes.
we come to you yet again on this Sabbath day, saying thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to endure whatever we had to endure this week, to make it to your Sabbath day of rest, to give you all the praise, because you are so worthy. We ask that you forgive us for our sins. We ask that you touch those that are here, bless those that wanted to be here but couldn't, be with them. I pray that everyone that is listening to us and that receives your word and are edified and hears the message that you have for them to hear, so that they can get that understanding and understand that you are the true and living God.
Yes.
Sits on high.
Yes.
And there is no other.
No other.
There is no other. No other. We thank you for allowing us every opportunity that we have to find your truth and get this understanding. And I pray that those that are seeking this understanding gets that understanding and that knowledge and that fear of who you are.
Yeah.
We ask that I ask that you allow me to read boldly your word, and that it goes forth before your people.
Yes.
And that pastor speaks the words that only you have put on his heart and mind to speak, and that we are edified. In Yahawah's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Good, brother. Good prayer. Ooh, that was good Shabbat today.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You got your shield of faith up, because the darks have been coming.
I put my chin strap.
Yeah, chin strap, helmet. Oh, let's go. You got to have your Bible. You got to have your notepad, sisters and brothers. You got to be ready, okay? We trying to do better and get better with our video equipment and technology, and that's just so the word can go forth, right? Listen, it ain't going to be long before they shut down the avenues of which you are able to eat of this kind of word here, right? We're coming straight from the book. We're using history and other resources to give you understanding so that you can make better decisions. Here's the disclaimer. If you want to remain asleep, turn off the video now. If you don't think you're in a captive state and you are a slave, this ain't for you. If you're not trying to make it into the kingdom, this ain't for you. This gospel is to go forth to wake up his people. That's what our message is. So the year of Yahawah, be of one mind. I got a lot of information, probably too much information, but some my people here say it ain't enough information. Tell it to us all, right? But sometimes you can eat so much, you start vomiting it up, you can't keep it all in. So students, beware. Don't eat more than you are spiritually able to handle. Take it in, sit the plate down, come back later. Pick it back up, eat some more, sit it down. Don't overgorge yourself when you throw up everything you need and keep things and you forgetting and you can't tell nobody because you're just trying to overeat and take it all in. So listen, piece by piece. That's why I'm breaking up all this information. You say, break it up. Yeah, we done already did 2 series. They about 3.5, 4 hours long. So that's really, that's 6 parts right there in the average lecture, right? In college, I mean, they would have broke that down in like 6 lectures. So we're on our 7th lecture. If you want to look at it that way. But when we teaching the word right now, I'm just going to try to edify students that are here, those that of you that have faithfully been watching. We appreciate you. Like, share, comment, get your family members and friends involved. Those that are ready to eat this lesson. This might not be the lesson for everybody, but those students that are able to even understand what we're talking about, hey, invite them to the party. Let's eat and let's learn together. It makes no sense to be spiritually dumb by choice.
Absolutely.
At least learn and discern what you want to do after that. Either way, you're going to be responsible. So check this out. Got to keep you awake. Let's just start right here. We're not talking about Harry Potter this week, but we're talking about waking you guys up from sleep. So follow along, watch the TV screen. This is the intro.
What it is. The matrix is everywhere. Is is all around us.
It's all around us.
Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on the television.
Matrix is deception.
Work. When you go to church.
When you go where?
When you pay taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
We're all living in a world that's made up for us.
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch.
You believe you was born into bondage?
For your mind.
For your mind.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
You got to see the deception for yourself. No one can wake you up. You got to want to wake up. Listen to
This
this.
is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back.
Some of y'all might die tonight.
Blue pill.
This might be your last day on earth.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want.
What pill?
Take the red pill.
Blue
Stay in
pill.
Wonderland.
Red pill.
And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Do you want to know how deep the rabbit hole of deception goes? Truly. Do you want to know you've been deceived or not?
Amen.
Remember,
All I'm offering is the truth.
the truth is all we talk about here in the month of Christ.
Amen.
You choose what you want to eat.
Amen.
You want to stay asleep or you want to wake up?
Amen.
You pick. Cut it off if you don't want to wake up.
Amen.
Just an intro. That's going to be our tagline today, brother.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Huh? We was all born into this matrix.
Yes, sir.
When you was a child, you had no choice on what you learned.
Right.
You was programmed and taught whatever, Catholicism, Mormonism, baptism, Episcopal, whatever, holiness, voodoo, wherever you live, you was taught that.
Amen.
He said we was going to be in the four corners of the earth in captivity.
Yes.
But do you know in the rabbit hole, there's levels and levels and levels and levels of deception. You have to be looking for it to reveal itself. And then you have a choice once you see you've been deceived.
Amen.
Do I stay deceived or do I make some moves? Everybody went around and said, I fear God, I fear no man. You really do fear what people say.
Yeah.
You have really been programmed from childhood
Yeah.
to worry about what people think about you. And some of you stay asleep by choice because of comfortability.
Yeah.
If everybody else is asleep, I can't be wrong
Yeah.
because I don't want the spotlight on me. But the Messiah said, if you're not willing to lose your life for my sake, you ain't worthy anyway. You got to be willing to lose friends, family, mama, grandma, uncle, prophet. You got to be able to lose everybody in your soul.
Amen.
See, that's what we're about. We're about waking people up out of the matrix. Because everybody is comfortable within the box that you created for yourself or your family created for you. Therefore, you don't think you need to learn anything else, although you don't know no more than what they gave you, because you're not truly seeking him yourself.
Amen.
You're seeking to stay in the matrix.
Yes, sir.
And you do not want to hear anything that breaks you out of that sorcerer's spell. So I'm offering, and when you watch the multitude of Christ, we're offering you one of two pills. Spiritually and physically, you're making decisions one way or the other.
Amen.
We're reading you the word of life. This word is life. You can't have no sort of life now or to come without this word.
Amen.
So I'm asking you, who have you chosen? What have you decided? the year of Yahawah? Do you want to be of one mind in one church? Or has your leaders made the decision for you that we are going to be exclusive and our church is the only church and we're the only ones that's going to make it in the kingdom of heaven? And if you don't go here, you're nowhere. Amen. Listen to what is being said in your matrix box, in your little sorcerer world. What is the undercurrent of theme that has everybody boastful and proud? What is really being said in the name of God? What is really being said like under here? This is what we're really talking about. Everybody else that ain't talking about what we talking about is irrelevant. Is that the message? We want to join and we want to get everybody out. Are we brothers and sisters? Really? You say it in word, but in action and deed, some people are confused with the word of God. Amen. And they misconstrue their bad habits with the word of God and then blame God on the other people when they're not the ones actually doing the word of God. Yeah. I said that was kind of confusing. They use the word of God to condemn other people, and in return, they're the ones doing all the sinning. Yeah. But it's confusing if you don't have the example and you're in the matrix box. You just ain't told nobody your limit to your spirituality. Yeah. I'm going to go, but so far, oh, it's uncomfortable now. I don't want to tell nobody I got scared of the uncomfortable place, right? Right. As if I'm reading the word and I'm the one making you uncomfortable. The word is making you uncomfortable because you don't want to adjust. Right. You stuck in saying, all we're doing is learning to show ourselves approved. Let's read a couple of scriptures. Get John chapter 8, verse 32. What did he say? I'm telling you in the Matrix movie, he said, all I'm telling you is the truth. Yeah. Well, ain't that what the men of God are supposed to be doing? Right. So you like, oh man, you guys have church on Saturday. Man, it's right in the middle of the day, man. It's beautiful outside. It's the biggest game in the world right now, down in South Dallas. What was they playing Arlington now? They still playing the Cowboys. Some of the people we know, man, they like, man, I want to come support. I'm gonna come visit, but not this Saturday today, because my God and where we go to worship is at the Cotton Bowl today. But you say you wanted to know the truth, and you say you're a follower of Christ, and even on the day that you hold holy, you don't really hold it holy, right? According to the Bible. Sorcerer's spell. What is really important to you? Because what's important to me and the people that worship with me is we trying to get to the kingdom. Yes. As soon as you start talking about everybody else and what everybody else is doing, you put your spiritual hat down and your carnal hat is just, it's endless. It's endless sin once you put your carnal hat on. I mean, Satan going to take you and run you down that rabbit hole, and you're going to find it hard to dig yourself back up to the spot you were before you decided to put your carnal hat on. Yeah. I just want to be, that's how you are. That's how you, ain't supposed to be transformed, renewed. Right. John 8:32, read that.
Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Do you really want to be free? Say who the Son said free is. Free. Well, how you going to be free without the truth? And your man, how your man of God say he telling you the truth and you go to church on Sunday? Yes. The first day. Yeah. First step of deception. First, they got rid of the people of Israel. Now they got rid of the day of worship. Then they gave the Messiah, who's an Israelite, a new name. Yeah. Right? And then they proclaimed it and gave it to you by force fed since you was a baby. Yeah. And in church, and BTU, and in vacation Bible school, and
changing holy days to holidays.
Holy days to holidays. Yeah. Skip to Malou. I mean, you got red nose and big guys in red suits jumping out of chimneys. Yeah. And you believe it. Yeah. Still believe it. Yeah. You're still in the sorcerers. I mean, you eating from which pill? You're eating the blue pill. You ain't want to eat the red pill. You stuck in that blue pill. Keep things the way they are. Don't change. Don't take away my Halloween. Don't take away my Easter. Don't take away. Don't take away. It should have never been given to you. That's right. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So if you're fighting against the truth that's in the word, you need to put the whole Bible down.
Right.
If you're saying that children of Israel are replaced out of a book about Israelite people, you are under a sorcerer's spell.
Yeah.
You are in a matrix, and your rabbit hole goes as far as your imagination lets you go.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, just because people are starting to wake up, you shouldn't be so critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Next verse, get Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Brother. Let's keep going. Try to make this intro short so I get the information out. But sometimes you got to have your mind got to be reset every week.
That's right.
I mean, like I said, talk blog, this ain't no lecture, no Les Miles lecture. This is a church of the Most High Yah. You're going to get scripture. Proverbs 4 and 7, go ahead.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
See, a lot of you think you are smart, but you're not spiritually wise. Right? Just because you know a lot of scriptures don't make you wise, because there's a lot of people that know scripture. Satan knows scripture, he just don't live by it.
Yeah.
Right? How do you know if that person is Satan? That person is speaking by the oracles of the Most High Yah. It's how they live.
Yes,
First day versus 7th day.
Yes, sir.
Commandments versus no commandments.
Yes,
Huh? Christmas versus no Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Passover versus Easter.
Uh-huh.
What are they doing? Is it according to what you read? Why do you believe somebody got a Bible and they ain't read nothing in it to you? And you just sit up there, amen, amen. He ain't read nothing. He exegesis you. We're going to come from the book of Proverbs chapter 4, and he's going to put that book, he's going to raise it up. Excuse me. Y'all forget. That's how I was raised. You drop that book, boy, you better ask for forgiveness. Don't drop that Bible. Listen, we're going to come from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. And then we're going to put that book down and start. I got a story for you. Let me tell you something back when I was in college. I want to hear your story, Pastor. Read the book so I can save myself and be free. Go ahead.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom.
How you get wisdom if you don't want to know the truth? And the truth is somebody taught you to replace the Israelites with the Christian church. Somebody told you that the feast of the Lord are not important. That's why you keep the holidays. Somebody told you to worship moons, which your captors taught you to do. The captors actually worship the moons. He actually commanded you, don't look into the heavens and worship anything.
Right.
But many of you will use an argument that's against the commandment of the Most High Yah.
Yeah.
You already lost when you opened your mouth. See? Go ahead.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
Therefore,
get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
A lot of y'all trying to get something, but it ain't understanding. It's trying to get an answer that can keep you in your box of comfortability.
Yeah.
I don't really want to, I want us to be saved, but hey, I just rather let's put a doctrine and say I'm saved already. Brother, you saying I got to endure to the end. My Lord and Savior said all I had to do was believe. See, one is simple, and one you got to do some work.
Yeah.
Amen.
What's easy to believe in things? Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2. See, so Pastor Johnny at the Multitude of Christ is teaching, right? And your job, just like K through 12, is to take the information taught at class, go home and do your homework to make sure you understand the information that was presented to you.
Amen.
You can't go in there trying to read off other people's paper. You ain't learned nothing. You can't get into the kingdom off somebody else's blessing.
Right.
Somebody else's prayer.
Right.
You can't get in the kingdom of heaven off somebody else's work.
That's right.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Go ahead.
Study to show thyself approved unto
Who's self?
God. Thyself.
I'm doing the study. I'm laying information before you, but some of you are choosing the wrong pill. Wait, you choose. I said that. You are choosing. So we got to the top again.
Study to show thyself.
Thyself has chosen not to study thyself. I'm going to trust my man of God. And you know what? The Bible teaches about pastors and false prophets that lead the people astray for two reasons. For pride and power and filthy lucre.
Yeah.
You can see somebody robbing you right in front of you and you keep on going.
Yeah.
You think that person robbing you is going to give you the truth? Huh? You got prostitutes on the street think they pimp gonna take care of them, but do we ever?
No.
So you in there getting pimped, thinking you getting told the truth. Getting taken care of. Another sorcerer's spell. Get out of the matrix.
Right.
Stop whoring yourself out just to be a network with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I like the way they live and I like the way they dress. I like being with these people. I don't really relate to those people. You're supposed to relate to the truth. The truth sets you free, not those people. Those people might keep you in your carnal state of sleep, in your rabbit hole. Go ahead from the top.
Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
So if I'm studying and you studying, we should be able to be putting this puzzle together, and nobody needs to be ashamed. You throwing darts and you talking behind my back or in our face. Listen, I used to manage, and I always tell the workers, hey, be careful what you telling the other co-workers, even though they told you a secret first. You done told 5 secrets to they one, and they telling your business, not their business. The boss always finds out because loose lips see ships. Loose lips are loose. If I can get you to talk, I can get everybody to talk. Now I know everybody's business. And I'm going to use it for my advantage to move up. You're like, how did that person, what you gonna say against that person? She know all your secrets. He know all your secrets. You've been running him out. That's how it works in the church of God too. It's in the church. You brought your carnal ways in the church. And you think because you over at a different congregation running your mouth, the people where you talking about ain't gonna find out. Man, you're supposed to know what the fruits of the spirits are yourself by now. You've been in a congregation over 2 years. You're supposed to know how you're supposed to be living.
Yeah.
Especially if you say you're in the truth. You're supposed to be seeking the Most High Yah, not seeking acceptance by other people. It's a matter of time before you figure out that those people really don't care about you.
Yeah.
They want to know what you know, what advantage, can you help me with anything? As soon as they figure out you're unhelpful to them, gone. That's why you're supposed to be in that church, in that congregation. You're supposed to be studying and learning.
Yeah.
And when you ain't learning nothing else, you need to find somewhere else to eat from. You might just be capped. It's glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it ain't a glass ceiling in the church. We see them churches take them big checks. They took big checks and then the doctrine went down. They got a big building and the doctrine went down. You know why they're able to do that? Because ain't nobody in that church studying. And we're going to come from Proverbs chapter 4 and everybody sitting there with a dusty Bible in their lap. Hey, but you stop by, we be moving that thing. It's real broken in. You got to learn how to keep up because we might have 30, 40, 50 scriptures. Supposed to be 20 or less. It might be about 40. Because it's supposed to be a lot more scripture.
That's right.
But if you ain't studying, how do you know what congregation is the right congregation?
That's right.
Why have you settled? Listen, when you go try to buy a new house, you might look at 50 houses. You ain't got tired. Why? Because I'm looking for the best house. Huh? Who settles on a $200,000 home? None of you settle. Show me another one, agent. Show me another one. When you go to 1 or 2 churches, you're like, I'm tired. I mean, I like the way they sing. I like their lights. They got ballet. Oh, they got nice kids. They do the bounce house in Oktoberfest. Everything except I am learning from the book.
Right.
So we just gonna get in and find out about the year of the Most High Yah. We ended talking about the sun as it moves during the season, lower and higher in the sky. You see how low the moon is right now?
Yeah.
It's October the what? 11, 12? What we on right now? We're on October the 12th. You see how that moon is like it's coming across the sky, but it's real low. Right? You can see the season change because it goes up and down. Spring to summer. Summer to fall, the sun and the moon is moving at a different orbit as the sun. Because sometimes you don't see the sun and the moon gonna rise, and they're gonna be on the same side of the sky. The other season is gonna be the other way. So we talked about in the scriptures the 4 different divisions of the year. So how many review? How many months are there in a year?
12.
Is there any question how many months should be in a year of the Most High Yah?
No.
How many days are in each month?
30.
Is there a question?
No.
And should there be any question if you watch part 1, which is 3-part, part 2, 3-part? Should there be any misunderstanding of how many days, how many weeks are there in a year? 364 days. I said, but how many weeks are there in a year? Can it be 53 weeks?
No.
Can it be 54 weeks?
No.
It's got to be 52 weeks. The math adds up.
Yeah.
You can't put no more such a spell on me. I just seen the math, man. It makes sense according to the understanding, spiritual understanding. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
How many more examples from the Bible? Oh, if you're watching part 3 and you haven't watched 1 and 2, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
If you're just clicking in and all, listen, we don't put up stuff for clickbait.
Yeah.
This stuff that I'm teaching might not be in my lifetime by the time that thing blow up and go viral.
Yeah.
But one day, you're going to wake up out of your matrix and you're going to go back and you're going to watch every lesson that you've ever done so that you can save yourself.
Yeah.
There's 4 divisions in the year. There's 12 months broken down into 4 divisions of 3 months, right? 91, 91, 91, and 91. The 4 days are seasonal change days. It marks the change of the spring equinox, summer solstice, fall, and winter solstice. It breaks up the season. Ain't the Gregorian and the world calendar trying to do the exact same thing? But what parts of this series that everybody that's supposed to be in the truth, that is supposed to be making a Hebrew calendar of the Most High Yah, they keep having to make adjustments to get back to the solar calendar. So that's kind of where we a very, very narrow review, right?
Yeah.
But let's get the Book of Jubilees out. We're going to Book of Jubilees, scripture. We're just trying to get some understanding, right? I want to talk to you in your matrix state of your sorcery about what books you do or don't read. I mean, that's just the level of education and knowledge you're going to stay at. It said that all you're getting, get understanding. Yeah. How somebody going to tell you not to read something that they've never read? Amen. You at least got to read it for yourself, and you might just say, I wonder why he told me not to read that. Because my daughter did it. My daughter went through the whole Book of Jubilees, questioned me the whole way, and everything we lined up, we found in this 66 book in the Jubilees. It was like, okay, well, why can't we read it? Jubilees chapter 2, brother. Who keeps putting spells on you, and who do you put your trust in? And why? I know you're supposed to trust your man and woman of the Most High Yah, but what if they all made an agreement not to teach you and keep you asleep?
That's bad business.
Huh?
That's bad business right there.
Man, I seen some, why he get that scripture, man, I seen some come across my Facebook, said that some dude is stuck in a spaceship out in space and they need to raise $3 million to bring him back from space. I'm like, for one, how did he get there? Nobody knows he ever left, right? It's like saying somebody stuck on the moon. Listen, they took a rocket to the moon. Where was the rocket to get from the moon back to the earth? So just a question. Just a question. It took a rocket. They used to show it on TV when I was a little kid. The space launch, and everybody watching TV. And this big old rocket just shot them up. And then the rocket fell off. Then they orbited the Earth and then shot to the moon. And I'm trying to figure out where was the rocket to back into? I don't know. Just a question. Wow. Just taught it from kids. I don't know. Our kids today don't even know what I'm talking about. They have no clue what I'm talking about. They believe in Star Trek, Star Wars, Turn of the Tide. I mean, they're all in here. The seed. Jubilees chapter 2, verse 8 to 11. The 4 great works. I know the book is a little different.
So 4 days created this.
Yeah, you can start there. Okay. Yeah, start here. We don't even need the first part. The 4th day. Go ahead.
On the 4th day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the sky of the heaven to give light on all the earth. and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from the darkness.
See, he read, they stuck the sun, moon, and stars in the sky. But when you pull it offline, it says set them in the firmament. There's another lesson that's coming, but did the day change? Fourth day of the Bible, fourth day in Jubilees. Go ahead.
God appointed the sun to be a great sign to the earth for days and for Sabbaths and for months and for feasts and for years and for Sabbaths of years and for Jubilees.
So you see, when we're talking about time, I think I'm gonna move this out of order. We're talking about time. It said the sun was used for time of day. Your Sabbath, which is every seventh day, for when your feasts were, right? Your feast of years and your jubilees. So time is tracked by the sun. But somebody will get that scripture, especially out of the Bible, and see sun, moon, and stars. See, these great signs have to all be for your. They just go all over the place. But it's clearly when you use time, the sun is used for time. Go ahead.
And for all seasons of the years.
Okay.
And
the seasons of the years, like spring, summer, fall, winter.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
And it divides the light from the darkness for prosperity, that all things may prosper, will sprout and grow.
Will things sprout and grow if we don't have the sun? See, the sun rules the day.
Yes.
Key word, day. Sabbath day. The sun, things grow because of the sun in the day.
Yes.
2 parts. It separates day, light from dark, helps things grow,
Yes.
and it helps you track times and seasons.
Absolutely.
Right? Go ahead.
These 3 kinds he made on the 4th day.
All right. So let's look at something. So everybody is like, use the National Oceanic or use the time and date website to help them calculate things, right?
Yeah.
So I want to look at, this is the equinox and solstice that you can get off timeanddate.com. Oh yeah, y'all can see that pretty good. So it got the years in a 10-year time span. They've already supposedly tracked what day and what time the spring equinox is going to happen, the summer solstice, what day that is, the fall equinox, and the winter solstice. They already got it tracked. So all got it tracked. But here's 2019, and it says that the equinox happened on the 20th, right? And so the whole spark of this was my reviewing of 15 different Israelite groups, or Jewish or Israelite. I had about 15 different churches or camps, classes, whatever you call it. And everybody or majority was doing things differently, right? No, there was no consistency. But when we talk about the first day worshipers or the Sunday keepers, right? They got their days down. Their Easter's the same, their Christmas is the same, all their holidays is the same. But now we supposed to be in truth. I was watching something this weekend and the dude said, man, we almost like the Sunday church. We got camps and classes on every corner. Everybody doing something different.
Yeah.
Why? Some like the attention, some getting paid to deceive.
Yeah.
And some are out there really teaching the word.
Yeah.
How do you know the difference? Because you should be able to read it. It shouldn't be a lot of carnal things that go against the fruits of the spirit, but in the name of the Most High, y'all don't work like that.
Yeah.
You can't teach y'all to hate and say, I come in the name of the Most High. But he's a y'all balance. Wait a minute. He said you're supposed to correct your brother out of meekness.
Yes.
And humbleness. Not try to yell at people and get hate going on so you can get attention, get your views up. You know what I mean? You just teach the word. It's going to do what it's supposed to do on its own. But we got 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, winter, fall, and they're all tied if you didn't know. Many of you didn't know. You ain't learning in school. You learned biology? Oh, no, I don't remember them talking about spring, summer, winter, fall, and then tied it to a solstice. Talked about winter solstice. They don't want you to know about winter solstice because a lot of that got to do with Christmas. It's a lot of paganism going on in the church, but you can't know too much. If you can't be a slave and know too much.
Right.
Do you want to know how far the rabbit hole goes?
Yeah.
You don't have to. Jay, you can take this pill. I'm gonna put you back in South Lake in your mansion and with your car, and you ain't gonna know nothing ever happened. You ain't gonna remember us having this conversation.
All right.
Like some of the scriptures where the prophets woke up in a dream, and it's like, hey, I gotta tell somebody.
Yeah.
But in the movie, they depict it as taking a pill and making a choice.
Yeah.
Right? It's our divisions and our seasons of the year are tracked with the sun through the equinox and the solstice. Do your research. What did we read earlier? You got to study. Well, I'm teaching you to show yourself approved.
Yeah.
I already know what I know. And all I'm asking, if you know anything more, hey, let's add it together so that we are that much more wiser and we're getting some understanding. We should put it all together, right? So I like using the 1828 dictionary. You know, I like to use the etymology.com. I see a word or I see a phrase, I can go break down what them words mean. I got to see from the oldest dictionary I can find, hey man, what was these cats talking about when they used this word, right? So what is the definition of equinox, right? We're talking about divisions of seasons that break down when it's spring and when it changes to summer, fall, winter, right? Jubilees talks about it. It talks about it in the scriptures. So what is 1828 defined as equinox? Go ahead.
The precise time when the sun enters one of the equinoctial points.
Stop. What are we talking about again? The sun. Time. Sun. Sundials. Go ahead.
Or the first point of Aries.
What?
The first point of Aries.
So we're talking about either the sun or we're talking about star Aries. Hold that in the back of your mind, because a lot of you don't know about stars. You know about little dippers and big dippers, but you don't know about Spica and Aries, and you don't know about people that worship constellations and zodiacs and stars.
Yeah.
Huh? You walk by, you go to New Orleans, you walk by somebody, you see star constellation or something, it just goes right by you. You don't have any clue what's going on. Go ahead.
About the 21st of March.
About when?
21st of March.
So when did they say the equinox, and when it always says that it's always on the 20th? Did you see in the last 10 years? It's always on the 20th day. So at the sundown, what happens? Now we got Aries on the 21st. So are you following the sun, or are we following Aries? Because if we follow Aries, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because so at night and midnight, when it's dark, now you got Aries.
Yeah.
Always. So we start our Hebrew New Year on the slither of the new moon. We already talked about the new moon too, where that slither moon come from.
Yeah.
Who really observes and follows the moon on their calendar.
Yeah.
But here we're talking about the sun is for time. Why would we use the moon? Why would we be looking at the stars? Should they all be at one point every time the year starts? It's just a question. But Aries, we got a problem because now we're getting into constellations and zodiacs and astrology. Maybe. Go ahead.
And the first point of Libra. About the 23rd of September, making the day and the night of equal length. These are called the vernal and autumnal equinoxes.
Vernal and autumnal. So we're still talking about equal days of sun and equal days of night, right? That's what an equinox is, right? Go ahead.
These points are found to be moved backward or westward at the rate of 50 of a degree in a year. This is called the precision of session. I'm sorry.
But the first part of that is what's important. Read that first line again.
The precise time when the sun enters one of the
equinoxial points,
or the first point of Aries.
Is the first point of Aries. So go down and read what it said about Aries.
Aries, the ram, a constellation of fixed stars drawn on the globe of the figure of a ram. It is the first of the 12 signs of zodiac.
Of the what?
The zodiac. which the sun enters about.
Oh, wow.
What's the number one zodiac?
Wait a minute.
Zodiac.
Are you starting your year? Are you using a zodiac sign and a zodiac date?
Wow.
Because you know when you go to time and date or the National Oceanic, you actually track when it's close to 12 hours up and 12 hours of dark. It ain't on 20. It's more like the 16th, 17th every year.
Yeah.
So why would you move it to be close to Aries? Did you hear me? Why would you move it to be close to Aries? I don't know. I just want you to think. So now, are we saying that around the equinox, we look to also see that Aries is in the sky before we start the count of our year? Aries is drawn like a ram, right? It's like you can trace. You see the little sign in the white?
Oh, wow.
You know, like your Chevy Equinox. You better go back and think about the names of things. You sleep, you have no clue. The names of your hurricanes. I mean, they'll put stuff in your face and somebody is sitting back really laughing at people.
Yeah.
They're just laughing. You know, like your Saturn car.
Yeah.
Mercury, Sable. I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, do I want to? I don't know. Do you want to wake up? Do you want to wake up? Are you going to ask any questions to your spiritual leader? I don't know. Aries, etymology. What is the etymology of the word Aries? Go ahead.
Aries, zodiacal constellation, usually identified as a ram.
Pastor Johnny, we're just talking about constellation in the sky, like Little Dipper, Big Dipper. No big deal, right? So drop the rest of that. It's a bunch of. Drop down to the zodiac.
Zodiac definition: an imaginary belt of the heavens.
Of the what?
Of the heavens, extended about 8 degrees on each side of the ecliptic. Within which are the apparent paths of the sun, moon, and principal planets.
Principal planets, okay.
It contains 12 constellations.
12 constellations.
And hence 12 divisions, called signs of the zodiac.
So what happened when you started getting in the signs of the zodiac, constellations, and astrology? Something happens, and now it says what? You can just go online. It says the ram is the first of the 12 zodiacal signs. How many of you get the newspaper? I mean, they still have newspapers time and time again, but how many of you are looking up your zodiac sign? What's that called when they be looking up their horoscope? When we talk about time and date, but what do you notice about all the zodiac signs? They're in line, they all got symbols and images, and they all got dates. And we're talking about the sun used for days, Sabbaths, seasons. You see, they all got a date to them over on the side, right? And they are supposed to be the imaginary belt of heavens, which has the path of the sun and the moon and principal planets. These are supposed to be zodiacal signs of star alignments that somebody has been looking up at the sky too long. Maybe smoking on that ooh-wee. That's a ram. I don't see no ram, bro. I don't see no ram. That's a horse. Man, I don't see no horse, bro. I don't see no horse. I don't see no horse. Is that a crab? Is that a Virgo? Man, I don't know what you're talking about. But why would we be looking at those little bitty signs when we got this big old sun? Right. So somebody might have else going along with our calendar and our faith.
Yeah.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 18. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Deuteronomy chapter 18. We can clearly read that the sun is used for time. Yeah. They're saying it, but they're doing something different because it says or. Yeah. Why do I need to use the Aries when I got to go sun? Everybody's going back to the sun, but they're doing something different. Yeah. Even at the bottom, it says though no longer astronomically accurate because of precession of the equinox. So because the sun is doing its own thing, you can't make the stars fit the sun. These traditional dates continue to be used by astrology.
Wow.
It says traditional dates, right?
Ain't that kind of what they said about the moon?
Yeah.
The slither?
It says traditional dates, right?
Traditional. Traditionally, dates continue to be used with astrology.
Like traditional to men, right?
Traditional to human men and those that are asleep don't know no better. Deuteronomy 18, verse 10 and 12. Go ahead. I want to point out something. Go ahead.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
You know, people are like, why is that there? You know what? Because people are still sacrificing people.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Or that uses
Divination.
or an observer of times.
Observer of zodiacs. Soothsayers. We're going to figure out what this soothsayer is and why the Most High said not to deal with them. Go ahead.
Or an enchanter, or a witch.
All you people that like the Harry Potter movie, they got all sorcerized by watching all those series, got put under the spell. All you Disney people that like the magic, like to be voodoo, but I'm scared of voodoo, but you like magic spells.
Yeah.
You like hocus pocus, but you scared of voodoo? Go ahead.
Or a charmer.
Or a charmer, smooth talking, somebody that speaks slithering, subtle things and makes you women do things and men do things and use them like their subtle pimp ways. And yeah, baby. I give you the stars and the moon cracks out, baby. You're like, ooh, I like the way your hair is. Can I do your, yeah, baby.
Yeah,
You know, you go ahead and sit for about 6 hours and baby, we split. You come in with all that money. Look what I did, daddy. Give it all to me. What? That wasn't the deal. Baby, listen. Charmers make you do things you should know better than to do. Go ahead.
Or consulter with familiar spirits.
Oh, you want me to pull up? You like Ouija? Hey, let's see if your great grandmother come visit you. Let's talk to the ancestors. Huh? Let's burn some incense and pray to the unseen spirits. We'll see what happens. There's something show up. Go ahead.
Or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Or a necromancer, those people that like to talk to dead people, conjure dead people, sleep with dead people, deal with dead people. Verse 12, go ahead.
Unto the Lord.
Have you ever read this scripture in your church? Wizards, witches, enchanters, crystal ball, Ouija board, all of those people are an abomination to the Most High Yah. Oh, we don't read that Old Testament. That was nailed to the cross. You telling me the Most High Yah said it and now he did away? Now witches and warlocks and all that's acceptable? Come on. But they exist. They are here. Go ahead.
And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
They used to be driven out away from the children of Israel. Now they right amongst us.
Man.
They are utilized to keep everybody asleep and under a spell. So what is a soothsayer? A soothsayer is an enchanter. The word is anan in Hebrew. Hebrew 6049. A soothsayer and enchanter does what?
Piel, to make appear, produce, bring clouds.
Poel.
To practice soothsaying, conjuring.
I ever seen that movie Conjuring?
Yeah, the conjuring.
I haven't, but I know they made a movie about conjuring, which is an abomination to the Most High Yah. You are under spell, people, and you have chosen not to wake up. I like scary movies. That's why they movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12. You kids like to be scared. You like to be put in a spell. You're scared of the shadows. You're scared of the dark. You are under a spell. You chosen to be. Go ahead. Point 2.
To observe time.
So a soothsayer and enchanter does what he observes times. Go ahead.
Practice soothsaying,
Uh-huh.
or spiritualism,
Uh-huh.
or magic, or augury.
So when these constellations and these zodiacs come up, they are tied to spiritual enchantment and magic and spells.
Augury.
And what?
Augury.
Augury.
Or witchcraft.
Or witchcraft, go ahead.
Soothsayers or enchanters or sorcerers. Diviners.
Or
fortune tellers.
oh, there you go. Fortune tellers.
Calling me now.
Fortune tellers use the zodiac and astrology to do what? Put a spell on you.
Yeah.
Huh? You don't think these people are consulted on movies, on music, sounds, frequencies? How can we keep the people asleep while we shoot them down in the street?
Yeah.
Everybody might be under spell. I see that girl getting beat in front of me, but I don't want to jump in because I might die. If you're not willing to die, why are you alive? Just so you can video record it? I might get on a late night show. They might pay me for my pictures. You gonna sell it instead of saying that brother get choked out? How many people watched that boy get choked out? Everybody, Freddie Gray, Freddie Gray. How many people stood there and watched him get choked out? You know, sometimes if you stand up to the bully will stop bullying.
Yeah.
But as long as you get pushed around, he's gonna get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. So we got these soothsayers using zodiac. Mike got everybody keeping a holy day according to astrological, symbols and signs. And, hey, it might be like, nah, this is our calendar. This is the only calendar the Most High God. But he ain't researched nothing. He ain't taught you nothing. And you might just be following Aries. As opposed to that big old sun that does the same thing every day, every day, every day.
Don't change.
Don't change. Ain't changed. Ain't gonna change.
Ain't changed his creation.
Ain't changed his creation. Deuteronomy 4:19. Go ahead. Because somebody got you doing this, man. People like to go out and get some big old telescopes and go out to the country where it's clear of clouds. They like to look up and see if I can see the rain. I can't see the rain. What Virgo look like again? We out here, we ain't got no range on our phone, so we don't know what we're looking for, but we just looking up. What do you say, verse 19?
Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven.
Unless you might not be looking, but someone looked up for you and said something. Go ahead.
And when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven.
Where they say the zodiac was? In the heavens. It said right there in the etymology. The zodiac is an imaginary belt in the heavens. So some of you people or some people have put you under a spell because they like looking into the heavens, and what they do?
Should be driven to worship them.
They worship the things they see in heaven. They don't worship who created the heavens. They worship the things they see in heaven. Therefore, they making you worship it without even knowing it. Go ahead.
And serve them, which the Lord thy God had divided into all the nations under the whole heaven.
How do you worship and serve things without knowing? Well, they just add them into your religion. Into your religion. The star, moon, and sun worship was there when Constantine said, I gotta get peace in my kingdom. I got these Hebrews over here, they say don't worship, and these pagans say worship the stars and moon. I need peace. Hey, I need my smart guys, bring them together and figure out how we can tie all these things together, and the right hand don't know what the left hand doing, and put some spell on it. And by the way, dig some rabbit holes and keep the people asleep for as long as we can. Don't let them read. Don't teach them about astrology. Even though one of the biggest astrology signs was what? The Magi's coming to the birth of the Messiah. What star was that? People asleep. You know something, but you don't know nothing. Go ahead. Is that it? So these people should be driven to worship the sun, moon, and the stars, and serve the sun, moon, and the stars, which the Lord Yahawah had divided unto all nations under the whole earth. He didn't give to no one certain people as a light at night and a light during the day. It was for everybody that had prosperity during the day, and at night they had the stars and the moon as a light. For the whole world. We say that right there for the whole world. It wasn't to worship or serve it. It was for the light. Right? But let's look at the etymology about astrology, because now we done went from Aries. I didn't make this stuff up. This because 1828 Webster Dictionary brought up Aries. I'm just studying.
You gotta use their words, Pastor.
I gotta use their words.
It's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge. I'm just studying scripture, and I run into seasons, and I'm like, okay, season, and I run into equinox, then I run into Aries, then I run into the ram, then I run into zodiac, then I run into astrology. Then he say, don't deal with soothsayers, they're abominable. And then I get to astrology, and then they say, what?
Calculation and foretell.
What? Not a or. It's a calculating time and foretell. So it's tied together. I didn't make this up. But I definitely know I didn't learn it in K through 12, and I definitely didn't learn it in all that college I paid for. I didn't learn that. Right? Now I'm in so-called truth. They ain't telling nobody nothing about it. You say moon, it's like, oh, lock the door, kick everybody out.
Take science for 7 years. 7 years of your career, you take science and never learn this.
Ain't never learned it.
Right.
Astrology, the calculation and foretelling based on what?
Observation of heavenly bodies.
What is in the heavens? The sun, the moon, and the stars. It's something else going on March 20th, but I don't think you should be using it. That's not the equinox. That's the beginning of the Aries. That's the beginning of the zodiac.
Yeah.
That makes a song about it.
Yeah.
Read that, brother. This is on Wikipedia. The vernal equinox. You can just look up vernal equinox on your Google or Bing. What it say?
Vernal equinox. Jewish chronicles admit that the Jews themselves were not in harmony as to the correct day of Passover.
So we talking about chroniclers, which would be like the rabbis who chronicle Jewish. See, people get Judaism mixed up with Hebrew and Israelite.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Jewish Judaism is like Hebrew and Israelites. It's wordplay because you don't know no better. You put yourself to sleep. So when they say stuff, you like, okay. Okay, I understand. You don't really understand.
Right.
But there was a problem back in the past. Go ahead.
The Council of Nicaea was called to settle several differences.
So we're talking about back in the 300 ADs. We're talking about 200-300 years after the death of the Messiah. There was a problem, right? So I'm telling you right now, there's still a problem with these Israelites today. We shouldn't have a problem, but somehow these Israelites have started following these Jewish people, and obviously Jewish people got the problem. Jewish people and the Gentiles got the problem because the Hebrew Israelite people have been put to sleep. We've been put under a deep, deep spell. But let's look at the problem that the Jewish and the Gentiles had. Go ahead.
Several differences in doctrine.
In doctrine. So you know the Council of Nicaea, we're dealing with the Catholic Church. So we're talking about the Catholic Church dealing with the Jewish people. Where was the Israelites? They were scattered to Africa. They were scattered all over Europe. They was hiding what? From persecution. You hear what I said? The true Israelites was hiding from persecution at this time where the Council of Nicaea was in control, and they was trying to get the Judaism people to give them some information about the calendar year, and they was off. Go ahead.
And to set the time for the Paschal.
So the Catholic Church wanted to know when was the right calendar of the Most High Yah, and how can we get on track to start the Passover, but the Jewish people didn't know. They was fighting over the slither moon, the dark moon, the full moon. They was having the same argument that I had that drove me to make this 3-part series. Yeah. It was happening in 300 AD. Why? Some people taking the pill, some people out of the pill, but took the money, right? Some people just ain't studying. They just know what their leaders said and they fighting you on that. But they was fighting back then. So the Council of Nicaea wanted to know when to set the time of the Passover, which is Paschal, right? Or you call it Easter, right? Easter has totally been changed. Another lesson. Go ahead.
Or Easter was squabbling Jews.
So the Jews were squabbling. The Pharisees was fighting against the Sadducees, was fighting against the Zealots, was fighting against the Hebrews, was fighting against the Essenes. Everybody is fighting. And Qumran got them documents, and somebody in Jerusalem burning them documents. And then here come the Romans saying, "Hey man, I need to bring all my kingdom together under Constantine." And then these Jews is like, "Well, trust me, no, trust me, no, trust me. It's the Caesar, it's the
it had become obvious that the church could not depend upon the Jews.
The church.
The church.
We're not talking about the Israelites, because replacement theology said the Israelites was no more. So all you Christians is like, man, who cares about the calendar of the Most High God? We got Christmas, we got Easter, we got Valentine's, we got Thanksgiving, we got Martin Luther the King Day, we got go ahead. So we ain't talking about the people that far in the rabbit hole. We trying to talk about the people that at least understanding that, you know, the calendar has been messed with, the word of God has been hijacked by the church.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We'll start back from the front.
From the top, go ahead.
It had become obvious that the church could not depend upon the Jews, who so disagreed among themselves over the calendar.
Why are you going to use an argument that you follow the rabbis of in Jerusalem when Constantine didn't even trust them 1,000 years ago, 1,700 years ago? He couldn't even trust these same chroniclers that was confused.
Wow.
And you didn't do no more research and say, well, if I just say Jerusalem or the rabbis, everybody's going to believe that I've got the unadulterated word. They hijackers too. The church is hijackers. The Judaism is hijackers. None of it is the true word of God. Ain't nothing you can read. They got the Talmud and they got every paganism doctrine. Bro. Why would I trust any of those sources? Go ahead.
Passover could vary as much as a month.
Now, how can Passover vary a month? Y'all like, look at that multitude of Christ. They done had they feast a month early. How don't you know that you're a month late?
Yeah.
It's the same argument 1,700 years ago. I'm just asking you to do some research on your own because you might be wrong. Heck, we might be wrong, but we can come together. We should let it divide. It should make us talk.
Yes.
But we've been really stiff-necked. I mean, the Bible is so true about who we are. Pride, reputation. Our church is the biggest. We the best. We the baddest. And we all could be wrong. We can all be in one level rabbit hole. Listen, one secret on top of another secret on top of another secret on top of another. I might be pulling off secret, and it might be 1,000 more. But you don't want to help me uncover because you want to stay up here in your matrix box, asleep.
Depending on the intercalendar month.
We already went over intercalendar months, but we finna go back into it a little bit deeper. I'm going to show you that the intercalendar month is not of God. It's Babylonian, and the Jewish picked it up, and they started adding on. So did Julius Caesar, and you got the same church, and you got the same Jewish people messing with the Most High calendar. But who's deceived? The Israelites are deceived. Why? Because they are in slavery. They are in the deepest sleep.
Yeah.
You are in the deepest sleep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The truth is,
The truth. Oh, y'all want to be free, or you could just turn off the video.
we told them how we're going to tell them the
Well,
truth.
I already told them we're going to talk about the truth. Go ahead.
The truth is that the present Jewish calendar evolved and grew into a present form over a period of many years.
So what was it before the intercalendar days? The addition of the slither moon and all the arguments. Like, if it grew, is it true?
Okay.
Read it from the top again.
The truth is
Uh-huh.
that the present Jewish calendar evolved
It was something
and grew
and grew.
into its present form
Over
a period of many years.
Now, many of you are in churches and classes that follow the finished product, but what was it before? And where did they learn everything that you stand on to be true?
Yeah.
I just did 3 series, which is really 6 series, showing you that what? Hey, there has been changes. There has been an evolution. Same thing in one mind as the children of Messiah.
Yeah.
That was my whole point from the first lesson till today. But I can't get you to sit at the table just like the Council of Nicaea couldn't deal with the squabbling Jews.
Yeah.
Y'all love to argue for the sake of condemning yourself. Go ahead.
It is not the same one followed at the time of the Messiah.
It ain't even the Jewish calendar, they ain't even the same one the Messiah followed.
Say we're gonna tell the truth, huh?
Man, these people sleep, man. They choking themselves on blue pills. Some of y'all, they throwing more blue pills in there. Like, I don't want to wake up. Trying to overdose on blue pills.
You said I'm an Israelite.
Oh, yeah. You want to go back to sleep. So let me, now that I've even got you awake to this point, I found some more evidence on 30 days. I'm transitioning. We out of the seasons. I don't think that's rocket science. I don't need to belabor 4 different seasons. But check these 30 days out. I got another way I'm going to show you and you can use to prove that it can only be calendar month. If it's 29/30, 29/30, 29/30, you're on the lunar calendar, and I already showed you that was Babylonian.
Absolutely.
Did I not? It already proved it's all over the internet. Use your smartphone to be smart. Don't use a smartphone to argue and just get out there debating recklessly, and you might be wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, Deuteronomy 21:13. Let's go through these pretty quick. I want to show you, this is just another one that, listen, I mean, I don't know what y'all talking about over there. We just read scripture. If you read the scriptures that we read, you should come to the same conclusion.
Absolutely.
Deuteronomy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it another one?
Deuteronomy.
What does it say?
And she shall put the raiment of her captivity
That's right.
from off of her,
Yeah.
and shall remain in thine house.
So what we're talking about here is when Israel went to war, and because they didn't kill the women and children, they just killed all the males, right? But if you captured a woman, right, since you took her from her parents, she had to have a 30-day sabbatical, a time of mourning.
Yeah.
So we're talking about you captured a Canaanite or a Philistine woman, and in order to make her a wife and take her into your house, she had to have a period. She had to be, you had to keep her away from you a month and give her a month to mourn. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
And she shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month.
I'm gonna show you what a full month is, because she gets a full month to mourn her father and mother. Go ahead.
And after that, thou shalt go in unto her, and be a husband, and she shall be thy wife.
She's gonna be thy wife, because now you're gonna go in and lay with her and become one, and she's gonna be your wife. But she has to have 30. She has to have a full month to mourn. Let's go to Deuteronomy 34. Let's see what a full month is, because the context is mourning. Now I'm gonna give you these other examples. So this was the custom of the Israelites during the time of mourning. Deuteronomy 34:8. Read that.
And the children of Israel wept for Moses.
Now we weeping for Moses. Go ahead.
In the plains of Moab.
How long?
30 days.
30 days. A full month is 30 days, not 28, not 31, like the way that they're, the Gregorian calendar said 28 to 30.
Yeah.
The Jewish calendar said anywhere from 29 to 30. Jewish, excuse me, right? But now we're clearly saying if you're reading the Bible, which is about Hebrew or the Israelite people, now we're talking about what is a full month to them. So the Jewish people started with this knowledge, started adding a whole bunch of intercalculate. And if you follow the lunar calendar, there's no way you can have 30-day months every month.
The math don't
add up.
Yeah.
We gave you the example with the flood. We gave you the example with Esther. It's got to be 30 days in the month. I just wanted to get you, now that I got you all on that zodiac, let me get you on the 30 days again. Right? Read the whole thing, my sister, brother, one more time.
And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days.
1 month.
So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended.
Now let's drop that. Let's go to Numbers chapter 20. Let's go look at another example of mourning. Chapter 20, we'll read 1 verse. So the woman, he had to let her mourn for a full month. Moses, they wept for 30 days. What does it say in Numbers chapter 20, verse 29? Is that it?
And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead.
Now we're talking about the priest, Aaron. He passed away. Go ahead.
They mourned for Aaron 30 days.
They mourned for him a full month?
30 days.
Full month is 30 days. You in the truth. I'm an Israelite. I'm set apart. I'm sanctified. 30-day months. That would mean whatever calendar everybody is arguing about has to be wrong if it's dealing with the moon. I don't care if it's the full moon, dark moon, slither moon. If you follow the moon, you're going to eventually have 13 months, which you can't be because we already read the scriptures, right? You're going to have 13 months in the 12-month period. You're going to come up short 10 days.
Yeah.
Let's say it. The evidence in the scriptures we already brought out. Read 29 one more time, and then we'll move on. Different topic.
And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron for 30 days, even all the house of Israel.
Full month is 30 days, sisters and brothers. Let's go on. Let's look at this evidence. I brought this back one more time. So Babylonian calendar. What are you talking about, Pastor? What we had read in the other places where it said if you follow the lunar calendar, this is where the lunar calendar came from. Now I'm going to get on these Jewish calendars and all of these people that follow Judaism and don't know you follow Judaism. Go ahead.
The Babylonian calendar.
This is right off Wikipedia, right off the internet. Go get it and copy and paste it and save it while it lasts, because you know the people get in there, edit it and alter it and take stuff off of the Wikipedia and the internet. Go ahead.
Was the lunar solar calendar.
The lunar solar calendar. I'm going to show you it's not the calendar of the Most High God. Go ahead.
With years consisting of 12 lunar months.
So they tried to have 12 lunar months. Go ahead.
Each beginning with the new crescent moon.
So everybody, you start with the crescent moon, you're going to come up short. If you following the moon to start your Sabbath over, start your months over, and then you're going to be off according to the scriptures. We just showed too much evidence with this lunar solar calendar. They try to have 12 months, the Babylonians. Go ahead.
Was first sighted low on the western horizon at sunset, plus the intercalary month inserted as needed by the decree.
So where did your 13th month come from?
Babylon.
Came from the Babylonians.
Yeah.
It can't be 13 months because I just showed you through the witnesses in part 1, was it? Part 2. I showed you in part 2 in the beginning, right? So y'all quit watching our videos for clickbait. We're not clickbait. We're trying to save you. Get some understanding that the Jewish calendar came from the Babylonians. Does the next slide say that? Here go the next slide. It's a website called Theos Frags Info Hebrew Babylonian Intercalculation. We just read right here where it clearly says that the Babylonians added the intercalary month as needed because they was on that new moon lunar solar calendar. What did it say on that website?
Both the Hebrews and Babylonians used similar calendar adjustments to keep their calendars synchronized with the sun, moon, and seasons.
Obviously, this calculation started during the Babylonian captivity. There's no way we was going to go to the Babylonians and say, hey, we like that idea. Let's take your idea, and the Most High Yah already gave us the sign since the beginning of time. Why would we come in the Babylonian? Because we was under captivity.
Right.
Why do we do the things we do now? Because we under captivity. You're in America, do as Americans do, whatever the saying go. Captivity, colonization. Our children don't know no better if you don't teach them no better. But clearly, the scholars and the people that have used the smartphones and the internet to get wiser and get understanding have already chronicled the deception. Do you want to wake up? Do you want to get out of the matrix? Read it from the top, go ahead.
Both Hebrews and Babylonians
Yes,
use similar calendar adjustments to keep their calendars synchronized with the sun, moon, and seasons.
Why do we need to resynchronize if we can already follow the synchronization of the sun, which has never changed? You will never have 13 suns in a 12-month period. Never. But you know those moons? Those sneaky moons. Obviously, the moons wasn't used for time.
Right.
We just clearly read that the sun was used for time in the Jubilees. Days, Sabbaths, Sabbath years and Jubilees.
Yeah.
But you're trying to use the moon for time. Babylonian.
Yeah.
Are you a Babylonian?
Flop and flip.
And those Hebrews that come in, them ain't Hebrews, them Jewish people.
Yeah, right.
Jewish and Hebrew are not the same thing.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
They both employed a system of adding entire months to their calendars.
Where did these Jewish so-called Hebrews learn that from? They captors. Go ahead.
In a calculation during 7 particular years, embolismic years. Years in which a month is intercalculated out of every 19 years. This was a repeating cycle.
If you have a 13-month intercalary month added to your calendar, you are following the Babylonian custom. I think I might have said that in part 1, but here we are in part 3 saying it again. So now we get back to this Jewish calendar that you can find under images once you Google and read the bottom of it. You can see there on a solar lunar, the Jewish people on a solar lunar. We Israelites. We are from the chosen seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are following this book, and this book said there could only be 30 days
with a seasonal month change every 91 days.
That's right.
Now, this clearly, what the Jewish people are doing in Jerusalem right now, and what many Israelite groups are following right now, is truly a lunar calendar. You can see it go 30, 29, 29, 30, 29, 30. This is kind of all over the place. And they made up, they trying to have 30 days back to back. It say 29 or 30. What do you mean 29 or 30? It means these boys are confused.
Yeah.
They don't know,
They don't know what's going on.
They got to add the intercalendar day because they missing something. You see, it's a decree, so they got to add that.
Constantine said these boys was totally squabbling, and they had that made them have to do their own thing.
Yeah. Wow.
That made it sound like, shut up, now you speak. Shut up, now you speak. Why aren't y'all saying the same thing? Y'all supposed to be the people of the book. That's what it sounds like from a king like Constantine. Man, why don't y'all know? Because y'all ain't the people. Because we were scattered by Papal Bull and by Titus in 70 AD. They knew we was in captivity. Here go our replacements trying to tell the captors what to do, and they don't even know. Man, we should have kept some of the Negroes around. We should have kept some Israelites around.
That's when they go give me a sorcerer and a soothsayer.
Yeah. That's it. We need to try to divine our way back into the understanding of this book so we can pretend to be the people.
Right.
What it said at the bottom, brother, read that. Now I brought this back up because now it's fitting. Now what that said at the bottom of that Jewish calendar, many of you Hebrew Israelites follow. What it say?
Hebrew months were alternately 30 and 29 days.
Lunar calendar.
The year shorter than ours had 354 days. Therefore, about every 3 years, 7 times in 19 years, which just read, an extra 29-day month. Badar was added between Adar and Nisan.
So we read in part 1 that the Gregorian calendar has a leap year every 4 years.
Yes.
Actually, Pastor Bishop Moray, I think are we 3 year, because the Jewish people do 3 year. It's not a trick question. It's to let you know, man, we doing it wrong. Right off the top, hey, Pastor, do we have a 4-year leap year or a 3 year? If he say 4, you're a Gregorian Hebrew Israelite. If he say 3 years, you following the Jewish solar lunar calendar of leap years. But everybody is trying to do what? Resynchronize back to the sun. I'm just trying to make a point that the sun seems to be very important in tracking time, not the moon.
Yeah.
The moon has got everybody confused and combobulated. And where did the moon come from? Babylonian worship.
Yeah.
Keep going. Read that, brother. I was gonna skip this, but now, that's too much. We made the point. This Adar and all that stuff come from Babylonians. Let's start here. Go ahead.
Leap year.
Leap years.
Leap years are needed to keep our modern day Gregorian calendar in alignment with the Earth's revolution around the sun.
Whoa.
So wait. So we learned. What was you gonna say? You might be saying what I was saying. Go ahead.
So the sun.
Yes.
And the Earth's evolution around the sun? Is that what?
Yeah, the Earth is going right to left, but the sun is supposed to. I don't understand how this is the sun going around the Earth, or is the Earth going around the sun? Because the Earth is supposed to be spinning on its axis. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going around nothing. But we've been listen. Do you want to know? And do you want to get out the rabbit hole? If this bottle is spinning on its axis, is it going around anything?
No.
Maybe the sun is going around the Earth, but we told you that the Earth, with spinning on the axis, is going around. Makes no sense. Because we just read earlier that the sun is moving in the western and eastern hemisphere up and down. Is the sun moving or is the Earth moving? Huh? Boy, man, what my Harry Potter? Give me the microphone. Harry Potter. Wake up out of your sleep.
Yeah.
Read on, brother. It's all right. Go ahead.
It is needed to keep our modern day Gregorian calendar in alignment with Earth's revolution around the sun.
Deception. Wake up, people. Go ahead.
Roman General Julius Caesar introduced the first leap year over 2,000 years ago. But the Julian calendar had only one rule. Any year evenly divisible by 4 would be a leap year.
Wait a minute. Who introduced the leap years? So we didn't talk about leap years. We just talking about intercalculary months.
Right.
So now you want to see where your leap year came from. That's just the watch of the day. That's enough. But now you want to see where your leap year came from? The Romans.
Roman general Julius.
Listen, if you want to argue and talk to me about a leap year, are you a Roman? You want to argue about me an intercalculary month? Are you a Babylonian? You want to argue with me about the moon? Are you a Babylonian or an Assyrian?
Yeah, serious.
Yeah, we read it. Babylonian or Assyrian customs. Do you want to talk to me about what our colonizers taught you and indoctrinated you from a baby? Have you not become a man and started doing your own research? Are you scared? I'm going to stay in my box because my church is blessed. We got a lot of congregants. We've grown mightily. Mighty to be saved. 30,000 sleep people in the matrix. What good is it? You don't lock the doors and all the people you're supposed to save is out there. Go ahead.
The formula produced way too many leap years, but was not corrected until the introduction of the Gregorian calendar more than 1,500 years later.
So you telling me more than Julius Caesar? Let me slow down.
Yeah.
Speak clear.
Yeah.
Mike sound real good this Shabbat.
Right.
Julius Caesar. What was the Israelites? They was under subjugation of the Romans, or they were scattered, right? They're not in control, right? 15 years, there was too many leap years. That means right now this Gregorian calendar is an evolution. It's a hot mess. You don't use the Gregorian calendar to find out about Hebrews. You don't use the Jewish calendar to find out about Hebrews. It's all an evolution. It's all a hot mess. Everybody's trying to resynchronize to find their way back to the truth, using soothsayers and sorceries and diviners, and it ain't worked 1,500 years ago, it ain't worked 2,000 years ago, and it ain't worked since the Babylonians influenced and started changing things.
Yeah.
They went from wrong to wronger to still wrong to even wronger.
Now we need to make a big old deep rabbit hole to keep everybody asleep. Asleep. Right? Now they're over there trying to build a temple, make themselves seem the divine experts and the Most High Yah people, and it's a big hoax.
Yeah.
But the sorcery that they've agreed with the same church and the same Gentiles allows the world to be in a big old matrix box when it comes to spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
So this is saying the same thing. We're gonna pass on that. Go ahead right here.
Babylonian and Hebrew connection. It is assumed in the table below for the purpose of determining 7th, 6th, and dates of intercalculated months in the chronologies which underlie the biblical books of Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, etc.
Listen,
that those intercalculation methods acquired by the Israelites when during the Babylonian exile are very similar, at least in result, to the 2nd and 3rd century AD.
go ahead.
Intercalculation methods codified by the rabbi.
By the who?
The rabbi.
By the who?
By
The Babylonians.
terrible.
It came from the Babylonians. The rabbis codified it. They said, okay, how you gonna use this slither of the moon? Oh, okay, we're gonna have a 13th month every 3 years or 4 years.
You know what's the truth, Mom? They couldn't count.
They couldn't count. They took away our information. They took away our laws, statutes, and commandments. They took away our ability to serve our true God, and they gave us a replacement. Go ahead, brother. This is Jewish influence. Go ahead.
Hebrew calendars and the product of evolution included a Babylonian influence.
I'm telling you right now, y'all following that lunar and y'all following that moon, it is Babylonian. Go ahead.
Hebrew lunar year is about 11 days shorter than the solar year.
Then we read that in Jubilees.
Yeah.
If you follow the moon, you're going to come up 10 days too short.
Right.
Once we get on our real calendar, you're going to see that the Jewish calendar and all the rest of the Hebrew Israelites are always going to be 10 days behind. Go ahead.
19-year Watonic cycle to bring it into line with the solar year.
So they're trying to bring in their leap years and all of their adjustments to get in line with the solar year, which never changes. The sun rises and sets every day as it always has. Go ahead.
With the addition of the intercalendar month every 2 or 3 years.
And who does it 3 years? The Jews. And who does it 4 years? The Gregorian, the church. We do. That's what your calendar looks like when you pull up your smartphone. That's a Gregorian Roman calendar. Go ahead.
For a total of 7 times per 19 years. Must add a 13th month every 2 to 3 years.
They gotta make an adjustment to reset their calendar. The lunar calendar is a farce. It is not the calendar of the Most High Yah.
Right.
You gotta make a 13-month adjustment every 3 years.
Wow.
2 or 3, it's 3. It's 3 Jewish, 4 for the Gregorian.
1, 2, 3 leap year.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 leap.
But we saw that, but the Gregorian leap year follows the Olympics. Next year, 2020, it'll be the Olympics. It'll be a leap year. 2024,
28,
and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
The calendar employed a new crescent moon.
What?
A new crescent moon.
Jewish influence, influenced by the Babylonians, did what?
The calendar employed a new crescent moon with an additional month normally added every 2 to 3 years to correct the difference between 12 lunar months and the solar year.
Come on, man. They did all of this trying to resynchronize everything back to the solar calendar, right? It's a lot, boy. Y'all, it's a lot, right? It's a lot right now, and we ain't even done, right? The crescent moon, the lunar, solar moon came from the Babylonians. We proving that, right?
So you go up 12, you're off 10, so you add one more to get 13 just to go back 10.
Come on, man. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Islamic calendar.
There's an Islamic calendar, right? The Middle East. Our brothers over there gotta have it right. They come from Adam. They come from Abraham. Excuse me. Right? They come from Abraham and Ishmael. Right? Go ahead. Look at all these Islamic calendars. I mean, all these flags. What you see on all these flags? Let me move for the camera. What do you see on all these flags in the Islamic world?
Stars.
That ain't no moon. What kind of moon is that?
Crescent moon.
That's a crescent moon.
It's a crescent moon, brother.
Read, brother.
Crescent moon and star.
Go ahead.
Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar consisting of 12 lunar months in a year of 354 or 355 days.
So Islamic got a Babylonian calendar.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A purely lunar calendar.
When did Islam come into play? 600 years, about 500 some odd years after the death of the Messiah. That's when the Islamic religion was created, right? Go ahead.
The Jewish Nazi was the official who decided.
Say it right, man. You might get some people angry that don't say Nazi. Jewish Nazi.
The Jewish Nazi
Uh-huh.
was the official who decided when to intercalculate the Jewish calendar.
So there's some Jewish Nazis, Nazis, just trying to stay away from the word Nazi. There's some people over in Jerusalem that makes the decision when the intercalculary month is put in there, brother.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Some sources say that the Arabs followed the Jewish practice and intercalculated.
Say it, read it, man. Come on, my man. Read that, man.
Intercalculated 7 months over 19 years. So
They follow the same calendar in the Arab world.
Arabic, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because they follow Islam.
So back to this equinox. We're gonna pass equinox solstice. Read this, brother.
The Catholicism confusion.
The Catholicism confusion. Do y'all know that there's 2 divisions in the Catholic Church?
Yes. Got the Western.
You got the Western Catholics
And the Eastern.
and the Eastern Catholics. They both have vernal equinoxes. They both have it on the same March 20th. How does 2 churches that are different still have the same understanding? Huh? The Western Catholic Church say the first new moon after the equinox. Hey, is some of you Hebrew Israelites, is that when y'all start y'all new year? The first new moon after the equinox? Well, so does the Western Catholic Church. The Eastern Catholic Church, first new moon after the equinox. But check this out.
Difference.
Here's the difference. Their Easter, their Passover is on the first Sunday after the new moon in the Western Catholicism. The Eastern Catholic Church
is on the
is on the second Sunday after the new moon is their Easter. So that's why you're going to have some people that start their new year right after the vernal equinox, the first new moon, but you're going to see there's some that are going to be on that Sabbath day on the first Sunday, or the Sabbath day, they're going to have Passover on the second Sunday.
Right.
That means they got some Catholicism influence in their calendar. Those people that always try to align and have their Passover start, they're not really following the new moon. They just following either the Western or the Eastern Catholicism. If you start doing some calculation and numbers, you'll start seeing, man, this stuff ain't adding up, even if we follow the first new moon after the equinox. Why do we have Passover on this day? These numbers don't add up from when you say our New Year was, Pastor. Why does it have to be always right before Easter? So you can say here in our Western Hemisphere, they always gonna have Easter on which one? The third, right?
Yeah, the third.
So that's Protestant. So everybody trying to have, even in the Gentile world, everybody trying to have their own Passover.
Yeah.
We don't want to have our Passover on the same day in our sunrise service as the Eastern Catholics. We don't want to have it as the Western Catholics. We want to have it the third Sunday. Ours is the third Sunday is the sunrise service. Our Easter,
every time.
you hear me? Our Easter got to be the third Sunday. See, I'm adding a lot, man. You got to go back and do the studying like I did, man, because I'm trying not to say too much, but to give you enough to give you understanding on what does your calendar look like and why is there such differences out there, even if you've gone back and did the research out of just the Israelite camps and churches that you understand. Did you even go back and look at the calendars that they put out? What information? Go back and look at ours. I can tell you, we started our year on the first new moon closest to the equinox. Man, the person that we was following had no understanding. That's my fault. That made me do what? I had to humble myself, go do the research. Now I'm bringing my class with me to prove me. They know what I know, and they're going to see where I'm headed now, because I don't like to do wrong by following people. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Let it be wrong because of my mistake. But I should have proved out these people before. But changes in time, I won't make no excuse. What I know now, I bet we won't do it again.
Amen.
I bet we won't do it again.
Amen.
So give me Ecclesiasticus 33. We're in the Apocrypha now, Ecclesiasticus. I'm gonna go till when I start 21, 32. Oh yeah, I'm moving around. I only got 30 minutes.
Yes.
I'm about 30 more minutes. I'm gonna try to get this next section in, right? Ecclesiasticus Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 33.
33.
We got a little glare over here on our side.
Yeah.
That look pretty good right there. Ecclesiasticus 33. Verse 7 through 9. It should start with saying, why does? That book's gonna read a little different than what we got on the screen, just because we use online sources, you know.
Why does one day excel another?
So why are we arguing? Why does one people excel a day over another? Why is the Babylonians and the Jewish, why is there so much influence, and what's going on? Who cares about a Passover compared to Easter? That's what some will say. Well, at least we keep it Easter. At least we try to keep recognition of the death of the Messiah and the rising. And that's the argument. At least we was keeping the recognition of the Messiah dying for our sins and rising on the first day.
And 2 days from Friday to Sunday, you got it wrong,
brother. But at least we keeping them honor and
remember, if
remembrance.
you're gonna do it right.
Amen.
This is what somebody humble would say. You're right.
You're right.
But that ain't what the response is. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
When as the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
The light of every day in the year is by the moon.
Of the sun.
That's how you calculate your 30 days in your month. You need the sun. It rises and sets faithfully.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. And he always
Days were distinguished by the knowledge of the Most High Yah, and he altered the seasons, which gives you spring, summer, winter, and fall, right? But you remember in the other lessons we talked about, it was used to help calculate so we would know when to plant, when to reap, when to harvest, right? And that's what our feasts line up with. You got the calendar of Yah, and then you got his sacred calendar right in the middle of it. The sacred calendar is doing something in its set appointed times, irrespective of the year calendar, right? Our feast days fall right in line where they're supposed to. They don't dictate the calendar, right? They fall in their seasons. That's what the scriptures say. But we got people trying to make the feast days fit a calendar as opposed to understanding what the calendar is, and our feast should fall right in line where they're supposed to every season, every year on the same day. Go ahead, brother.
Some of them have he made high days.
Who made the days high? Moses?
Yahawah.
Solomon?
Yahawah.
Julius Caesar?
Yahawah.
Pope Gregory?
Yahawah.
Pastor Johnny?
Yahawah.
No, I didn't write none of this. The Most High, through his knowledge, distinguished the days and the seasons and the Sabbaths and the years. Right? He set that one day higher than another.
Yeah.
That's the answer to your question. Why you say your Sabbath day is so more important than me going to church on Sunday? Because the Most High said so.
That's right.
He made it a Sabbath. Every other day was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meant nothing. But day 7, he said it was a high Shabbat.
Yeah.
He made Passover. He said unleavened bread, 7-day celebration. He said it was a feast. He told you what to do on it and when to do on it. Yeah. Not me, not Moses, nobody. The Most High told Moses to tell the people, and they should do it forever. But now you got all of this Babylonian, Assyrian influence, and I'm telling you, the Greeks really did a number.
Yeah.
Because if you was caught keeping Passover anything, they would kill you. You couldn't circumcise your kids. You couldn't do any burnt offerings. You couldn't do anything. But then he appointed some fake priests, and they got in there and started sacrificing swine. Then everybody was Hellenized. Now we're here in Americanized, and we're like, well, I keep the holidays, brother. Huh? We celebrate Jesus' birth on Christmas. We have a service and everything. Sunrise service, we be right there on Easter. We watch that sun come up. We say, hallelujah. Easter is not Passover according to the Bible. Right. When I say Passover, you say, excuse me? Passover, beg your pardon? Passover is not one day. Passover is 7 days. It's the feast of Passover. It's the feast of unleavened bread. Passover is the beginning of it. They was doing something right up until sundown, and they had to eat before 12. It is all symbolic of what happened to them in Egypt. Right. But y'all try to separate the day from the festival. That's why you all. It's all together. Wow. Another lesson. Go ahead, brother. Start that 9 from the top.
Some of them hath he made high days and hallowed them.
Hallowed them.
And some of them he hath made ordinary days.
Sister, brother, some of the days are just ordinary days, but the days that he appointed and hallowed and sanctified, we should keep them forever if we are the children of the Most High. You can't walk around and say, I'm a child of God. Holy Ghost filled, 5 baptized. Hey, we y'all keep Pentecost. Excuse me. Maybe. Huh?
I'm a Christian.
Huh? Well, I need some more pills. Hold up. Passover feast. Hey, you got some more pills? This dude trying to wake me up. I don't understand what you're saying. Church Saturday, excuse me. You happy Sabbath? Yeah, happy Saturday. No, happy Sabbath. Right. Happy Shabbat. I don't say Sabbath day is every day. What did he just say? Some days are hollow. Some days are high.
Have he made high days? And high, and some of them have he made ordinary.
You can't make a first day ordinary day a high day. Who did that? Are they playing God? Somebody's overdosing on pills. I'm trying to break that hair part off for you. That's all I'm trying to do. Let's keep going. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's stay in the pocket. I think I read these the other day, but it's going to come to what's the whole point of the lesson? And one of you going to say, so what calendar do they keep? I mean, if you are a student and you've been studying, you should have already been trying to get ahead of what we've been saying.
Yes.
Right. You can't follow the moon. You can't watch. You watch out for that Aries. Watch out for them zodiacs. Yeah. Even though there's stars in the sky, he's telling you the one big one you should pay attention to is the sun. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 17 to 19. Go ahead, brother.
For he has given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made.
Man, he told Solomon how the world was made. Go ahead.
And the operation of the elements.
So the operation of the elements and enchanting, trying to figure out what the stars are, what they mean. Can we divine? Can we tell the future about this? How about we just sell them to the people? King, I got a prophecy for you. Huh? Everybody want to promise the king. Everybody want to divine and know the future.
Yeah.
Sister, let me see your hand. I'm gonna smack you. You try to look at my hand. Next time somebody try to look at your hand, you need to look closer. Go ahead.
The beginning,
ending,
and midst of time.
Oh, Solomon was very wise. Go ahead.
The alterations of the turning of the sun.
Oh, does the sun turn or does the earth turn?
The sun.
What? Read it from the top.
Okay, let me start.
The earth is on the
I'm
axis.
just gonna start.
Oh, you read from the beginning.
Read from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
The beginning,
Ending,
and midst of the time.
go ahead.
The alterations of the turning of the sun, S-U-N, and the change of seasons.
Is the earth turning? Is the sun turning?
It's the sun turning.
How you know that the earth ain't still
Earth don't move.
and the elements are moving in the firmament?
Wow.
I never read it. It said the earth moved. And that's the Lord moved.
I don't know. Do you want to know how far the rabbit hole goes? You have to read the rest of that.
The circus of years.
Circus of years. See, we done lost track of the circus of years. That's what everybody's trying to figure out. And you know why they trying to figure out? And I'm going to say it's not that important. What's more important is that you get your salvation to check.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody in the time space, in what Jubilee, in what time period the Messiah coming back.
Yeah. How long they had
To the end of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
I got this much more to see.
I got this much more to give people. I got this much more to give people rich. Because when the Messiah comes, it ain't gonna matter. The beast, false prophet, and Satan gonna be thrown in the pit. They know their time is up, and when they release, they're gonna go to war just to be destroyed forever. Amen.
Amen.
Go ahead. So you know the circuit of years and the what?
And the positions of the stars.
What? The position of the stars, man, you ain't supposed to worship them and serve them. We read that in Deuteronomy. It looked like a ram. So it's just a light in the dark. All right.
So much more.
Let's move through here, man. I don't want no part 4. I don't want no part 4. Jubilees, get the Jubilee back out. I don't want no part 4. We're gonna be done with this thing. Most High God want to tell the people.
We gotta get the people what they want.
I don't see, are they coming? Do people want more? I mean, it's a lot to eat. I didn't lay a lot on the plate.
I'm following you now.
Jubilee chapter 2. We're not here for no show now. We try to save these people.
Absolutely.
Everybody doing something different. I'm trying to get everybody on the same page. Next year, when I go back and look at the calendars, man, we should be more alike than different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of unrepentant, stiff-necked people out there for either pride and power or money. Jubilee chapter 2, he said it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
Hey, what did Constantine run into? These are a bunch of squabbling Jews.
Yeah.
History say that.
Yeah.
Jubilees 2, verse 8 through 9. Go ahead.
On the 4th day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars.
You read this? Go ahead.
And set them in the sky of the heaven.
Yeah.
To give light on all the earth.
See, mine say he set them in the firmament. If you just say sky, you eliminating what a firmament is. It's one of those sources. Ooh, I break that spell off you in the name of Yahawah.
Yes, sir.
Firmament. Go in your strong 2 quarters and do your research on the word firmament. Go ahead.
And to rule over the day and the
so we're talking about elements that are supposed to be in the heavens, just use to separate day from night, light from dark.
Yes.
Go ahead.
God wanted the sun to be a great sign on the earth.
For what reason?
For days and for Sabbaths and for months
Yes.
and for feasts and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for jubilees,
Yes.
and for all seasons of the year.
Man, listen, I want him to go back and read this because this is what we're pulling out of here. For days, for Sabbaths, and for months. So this is the part of the lesson that I'm going to spend. And if we end here, we've done great, right? I got other lessons on intercalculations and barley, but I'm telling you, those about barley, they're off, right? So he said the sun was the great sign out of all signs for the earth, for days, Sabbaths, and for months.
Yeah.
Sisters and brothers, we're going to get into this and we're going to go right to it, right? Let's go right here. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 43. We back in the Apocrypha. You see all my classmates, they pull their phone out, right? If you ain't got your Apocrypha, you got to have your phone out with your Apocrypha on it, right? 1611 King James, get the Apocrypha, sisters and brothers. But we're going to go to Ecclesiastes 43. Let's find out about this moon, right? Because it's people confusing month with moon. We just told you whose influence added the moon in, right?
Yeah.
But I think we got some problems with the translators. Yeah. I'm just going to show you what I studied. And we're going to move on. Read Ecclesiastes 43, 6 to 10. Go ahead.
He made the moon also to serve in her season.
To serve 4 seasons.
In her season.
So the moon has its purpose. It serves in its season.
Amen.
Because obviously, you know, it ain't moving at the same circuit as the sun. Because sometimes they together over here, so sometimes they over there. So this moon doing its own thing. And every now and again, it's 13 of them in a 12-month period. It's doing its own thing. Go ahead.
For a declaration of time and a sign of the world.
Go ahead.
For the moon is the sign of peace.
Oh, the moon is the sign of peace. Go ahead.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
It's supposed to be a light at night. Go ahead.
The month is called after her name.
The month is called after the moon.
The month is called after her name.
Go ahead.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
So the moon is shining in the sky of heaven.
Firmament of heaven.
Y'all better study that word firmament and not quit replacing sky with firmament.
Absolutely.
2 different
Two
words.
different things.
Go ahead, verse 9.
The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest place of the Lord.
It's all about light in the dark. Go ahead.
At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches.
So what we want to look at is the moon serving in its season. Because remember, I told you there's 2 calendars going on. There's the full calendar of the Most High Yah, and then there is this festival seasons in their time appointed. Their time appointed does not dictate the overall calendar. Right. They show up in their time period. So if they show up on the time period of a moon, that doesn't mean that that is when the month starts. That just means in that moon, there's a certain count that starts at the moon. Yeah. That's not the count of the year. It's for times, that it's for days, Sabbaths, seasons, right? And I was saying the moon has its season. 2 lights, 2 different seasons. I think people are trying to overlay and be smarter than the Most High Yah. So let's look at something, right? Because you see clearly here in 2019, we had 13 months. Whether you put the dark moon or the slither moon at the beginning of August, then you had 2 moons in August, depending on the full moon, slither moon, whatever moon you follow. You either had 2 moons in July or 2 moons in August. That's not a sure sign. That can't be what the Most High is talking about, sister and brother. But I want to show you something. Let's go to, let's read it in the book. Go to Psalms 104:19. We'll make sure to read all the scriptures everybody gonna go to. 104, verse 19 and 20. Psalms 104, verse 19 and 20. Go ahead when you get it.
He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. Thou makest darkness, and it is night. Wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth.
So what is the season that the moon shows? In its season and its appointed time. What is the moon for? Does the moon show forth? It shows the light at night, but the moon show forth the feast when the feast season starts. What does that have to do with when the year starts? But some people are making the moon, the first moon after the equinox is the new year. For the season of the feast. The feasts go from the first month to the seventh. It have nothing to do with the year. It's saying in certain moons within your calendar is starting your festival season. But if you get the year wrong, what does it matter what moon it is? And if you're using the moon for your years, you're wrong because you can't have 13 moons in your year. Did that make sense? I don't need to repeat that again. That makes sense, right? So the moon has its seasons to do something, right? So let's look at something. Psalms 104, verse 19, they use that word moon. If you look at it in Hebrew, it says what? Yerek. Hebrews 33:94. Why wouldn't he use the word month there? Because he's actually talking about a moon and a sun. Our translators in some places started to use month and moon where moon and month should be. So clearly here we're talking about the actual moon and the actual sun. The word is Yerek. Yerek is moon. But let's go to Psalms 81. Now, are we talking about the physical moon, or is there some Harry Potter going on? Psalms 81, verse 1. Go ahead.
Sing aloud unto God, our strength.
Yes.
Make a joyful noise unto God of Jacob.
Yes.
Take a song and bring hither the tremble. A pleasant heart with the psaltery.
Go ahead.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Blow up the trumpet when I look at the moon. That's what you know, right? But is that where you're at? Because the word moon in Psalms 104 was Yerek. When you go into the Hebrew where it says this new moon, the word is Kodesh. It means month. Blow up the trumpet in the new month. Can there be a the question is, in the Most High Yah calendar, can you have the beginning of the month if there's not a new moon? Or does the beginning of the month always have to be on the new moon to determine whether you follow the full moon, dark moon, or the slither moon? Whatever the moon looks like you follow, does that have to be the beginning of your month? Because this scripture right here say, go ahead.
In the time appointed.
You remember we was talking about time again, right? Because it has its season, and the sun has its season to document time, year, moon, feast. So now when we say blow up the trumpet in the new moon, well, why wouldn't they just put the word month right there? Right. Because the word in Hebrew right there means Kodesh. Kodesh and Yerek is two Hebrew words. They can't be the same word. Right. They're not a derivative of the same word. Right. But somebody said they're the same. I said somebody said, you can clearly check, man, which pill you want right now? Give me stop. What pill you hungry for right now? You want to stay asleep? You want to wake up? I'm asking right now. This is one of those places where I want to stay asleep because the doctrine at my church has me, or I want to wake up and see that those are two Hebrew words. Show me two other different Hebrew words that mean the same. Yeah. Just blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Go ahead.
In the time appointed.
In the time appointed.
On our solemn feast day.
Okay.
For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob.
So question, whether you're looking for your new moon or whether you're looking for the beginning of the month, do you blow the trumpet in it?
That's a good question.
But let's stay on point. Is Yarek and Kodesh the same word?
No.
So here's a chart breakdown. The word new in Hebrew, you'll get Kadesh with an A. Hebrews 23:19. When you see the word moon, it's Yarek. Hebrews 33:91 or Hebrews 33:94. When you see the word month in the Hebrew, which is the Old Testament, you're going to get Kodesh or Kadesh, right? Hebrews 23:20, Hebrews 23:21, Hebrews 23:18. So when you see full moon in the scripture, it's Kasah. Hebrews 36:77. So for you Hebrew brothers, where you see full moon, is that saying full month? Because we read in the other scripture where it said full month. What scripture that we were reading there earlier? Deuteronomy. Yeah, the one we was talking about when we broke down the 30 days.
There was words mourning over Aaron and Moses.
Yeah.
For 30 days.
Yeah, for 30 days. Now that scripture right there say full month. What? So somebody get on a Bible app and find out what it say in Deuteronomy 21:33 and 13. Does that say Kasah? Or does that say moon? Is there another word right there where it say full month? Deuteronomy 21:13. We're gonna keep going. When y'all find it, let me know. Deuteronomy 21:13. Where was we at? So Kasah, Hebrews 36:77 means full moon. So is that word right there in Deuteronomy that I gave y'all, does that say Kasah? So how could they mix up new moon and new month, but not mix up full moon? Is that the same word?
It's a month.
It's a what?
Month. It says month.
It's a Kasah.
I say Yahawah.
Right there where it say full month.
3391.
3391, and it say what?
Yahawah.
You're wrong.
So the full month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it gave you your rock.
Yeah.
That confusion. She mourned for a full moon. Right there in that passage where we talk about a woman mourning for a full month.
Right.
You telling me it's saying you're right? Am I making my point? It's supposed to be a full month. Is that you're in Hebrews? Where at? And the woman mourned for her father and her mother for a full moon. You see what I'm saying? That just proved my point. The Holy Spirit just gave it to me because it's not even part of this.
Wow.
Month, lunar cycle, month. The definition of Yarek is talking about a month, but on here it's a moon. It sounds like the definition of play. And my boy, I'll be watching him saying play. It's some Harry Potter in here. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do y'all understand the full month to be the full moon? The full moon would just mean one day.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is that some kind of parable from one full moon to full moon? Look, a man gonna make up anything. But y'all hear what I'm saying? The word moon is Yarek. The word month is Kodesh.
Yeah.
I didn't even have that example on there, but the Most I just gave you that to me because we read it earlier and it's like, ding.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that? The woman mourned for a full moon. That would be one day.
For one day.
So how did they mix up one day for a full month?
Yeah.
Why would they translate it in English a full month?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a little bit of this, the little flip flop, a little bit of deception. It's a little bit of pokey going on here. They're making the full moon doctrine of the lunar solar calendar fit scripture
Yeah.
instead of scripture telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give some examples. 1 Samuel 20:5. We're not going to go there for the second time. Write it down. 1 Samuel 20, verse 5, everybody go to. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon. That's 23:20. That's month. So tomorrow is the new month. But they put moon. But they meant the beginning. 2 Kings 4:23. And he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither the new moon, meaning it is neither the new month, nor Sabbath. We're talking about time. We're not talking about the moon. We're talking about time. So where we stick the visual moon, where it should be month. We got a little hokey pokey going on here. It's a lot, right? We got a lot of hokey pokey trying to fit the Bible instead of reading the Bible. Y'all see that? We're talking about, that's why I was saying that earlier. We're talking about day, Sabbath, we're talking about time. Now we're not talking about the physical moon, we're talking about the month. That woman cried for a moon, or did the woman cry for a full 30 days? Now here we go, he's talking about time. Hey, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither the new month nor Sabbath. That's what it should say, but they put new moon. Here go another mistranslation, Isaiah 66:23. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. I'm going to read. He looking at me like, all right, my bad. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I gotta read the folks. My bad. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
Yes, sir.
That from one new moon.
That word right there is Hebrews 23:20. It's Kodesh. It's not Yerek. But they put new moon. Go ahead.
To another. And from one Sabbath to another.
We're talking about time. We're not talking about moon to moon, but we've been taught, hey, observe the moon. Get out there and watch the moon. You mean the moon that's going to calculate 354 days in a year? You mean the moon that's going to show up 13 times in a 12-month period? You think I am the Most High? I change not. I am not the author of confusion. But you tell me right now, you viewers that are watching in the comment box, are you not confused? You people who have never studied calendars and times and moons, and I don't know what you're talking about, Pastor Johnny. Are you not confused? I don't know, sister. It's like you the one said you wanted the red pill. Which one was it? Red. He said, you take that red pill. You sure? You do? And y'all sure y'all want that red pill to go down this rabbit hole? Because all I'm going to do is tell you the truth. Now, you see how bad it was when it came up out the Matrix. Whole bunch of hate. Nobody like you. It's a lonely place. It's ugly.
Yeah.
It's ugly outside of the Matrix box. Inside the box, it's perfect. Everybody rise and sleep, go to work, teach kids, go to the park, ride your horses, ride your motorcycle. But when you come out that Matrix, you're running for your life because people in the box trying to kill you and put you back in the box.
Right.
Shut up what you talking about, man. Your pastor out there, man, worshiping rocks. No, I'm telling the truth. And people are scared because they don't want to eat that pill. Are you scared of the truth, or are you scared of what people are going to say because you don't want to live outside the matrix?
Tell them, yeah. Tell them.
Isaiah 66, we concluded that one, right?
Yes, sir.
Now check this out. Let's go to Job. Now let's go to Job to where they actually use the word right. Job 25:5. Go ahead.
Behold, even the moon.
Why did they put Kodesh there? Why did they put Yerek there? Because Yerek is the real moon.
Yeah.
Why did they put Kodesh there, Thomas? Because it's talking about the real moon. So either they are mistranslators or they purposely did it. Month was a month, moon was. Obviously, they know what a moon is because in Job 25:5, they got it right. Right? Read it off. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut y'all. Read it.
Behold, even to the moon.
Uh-huh.
And it shineth
That
not.
moon shining. We're not talking about time. We're talking about that beautiful thing that be light and darkness.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the stars are not pure in his sight.
Does that make sense? Man, the truth should be like pure as living water coming out.
Right.
You should be hearing it like, man, it should be epiphany, not let me swallow some more blue pills and I fell asleep. You got to wake up.
Right.
Let's go. So we already used Psalms 104. Let's go to Jeremiah 31:35 is another example.
Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day,
We talk about sun and moon. We talking about the actual sun and moon. Go ahead.
and the ordinances of the moon.
Why didn't it say month right there?
Because it's talking about the actual moon.
They not confused right here when you get sun, but when you get time in there, they start playing. They start putting moon. Where it should be month. They start putting that Harry Potter. Boom. They put that spell on you because they need that your lunar solar calendar to make sense to you, Mo. 'Cause because we are Hebrews, but we really follow Jewish.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't want you to know that. I need you to stay asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Stay asleep. Finish it.
And of the stars for a light by night,
Which
which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name.
So I might be you out there, brother. You talking about something I don't know. Yeah, you haven't studied it, right?
Yeah.
But if you rewind it, it's gonna be clear as day to you. Now let me show you something. It's just like when they do the confusion with the whole Gentile and what a Gentile and stranger and heathen is, right? Either the translators were confused mode, or they purposely put moon where month should be, just to try to make the lunar calendar fit the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Because when you get in the New Testament, they got two different words for moon and month.
Yeah.
So you telling me now these same well, it's a different group because King James had a group over here and a group over there, and a group, but then the groups came together to make sure we either deceiving what we deceiving or we all messing up the same way. But clearly in the Greek, there's the word Selene, which means moon. Greek 4582 for you students who was actually writing down and researching it. Greek 4582, and then in Greek, mean or man, M-E-N, Greek 3376 means month. So you telling me in the Greek they are not confused, but all this confusion, what's new, what's month, what's full. But they use Yeret in that example of a full month. They use the word Yeret, which is the actual moon.
Right.
They should have used Kodesh, talking about time.
Yeah.
They should use Kodesh, month. But they trying to put that Harry Potter hocus pocus. But they're not confused in the Greek, but in the Hebrew, that's where they need to go back and deceive you. Around what time? What did it say? Around the time of Jeremiah. Man, name them, man. Name when the deception happened. Let me go back to it. Let me go back to Jeremiah, Ezra, and Daniel. How far back? There you go. Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, Babylonian, Persian captivity. The Most High revealing that to you, and the scholars is right there.
Yeah.
They tell you where it is, right?
Wow.
Let me see. Man, it's about time for me to end, people. I could have went into the barley grain, but we're not gonna let. Hey, right there, brothers. Y'all we got enough. We got enough. Now just stay tuned, right? Because I know a lot of my members need to know, well, what calendar are you gonna? Well, our calendar is probably gonna more or less look like a Qumran, more like a Enoch calendar.
Yes.
And so you could just watch and observe that we'll put that out here probably in the next month or so that we can sit and we got to digest all of this information, right? I'm telling you, it ain't got nothing to do with barley grain. We ain't in Jerusalem, and he put a big old sign in the sky, so I don't need to look down. I just need to look up.
That's right.
Right? And you already got the equinox track, but now you're trying to move us ahead to the Aries. It's a whole bunch of hocus pocus that's unnecessary. Huh? 12 and 12, but as you go in the day, it's going to be 12 no more. So why are you moving me forward? When you got to calculate it when it's 12 and 12. Around Mardi Gras, right around Bacchus Day. Got a whole bunch of pagan stuff going on, bro.
Yeah.
Huh? Sister, brothers, that's, man, to me, it don't feel like a lot because I got a lot more I could just be like, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I think I cut up them lamb. I think I put the right portion of potatoes, gave you some nice greenery. Got your nice glass of wine on the side. What you need to do is go back and watch all three of these parts. It ain't gonna be no part 4. I think I just laid out enough information to let you know to ask questions where you're at, study to show yourself approved. Stop being so judgmental because it's not supposed to be a stumbling block. But if we still squabbling like we were squabbling 2,000 years ago, what my brother said earlier, the Most High said it was going to be so. And it's that way. You don't want to come together either because you like the power and the pride, or you get paid to deceive. Either way, the truth going to come forth. I hope you've been edified. I hope you've been increased. Thank you for keeping the Shabbat with the Multitude of Christ ministry. Please, if you'd like to donate to keep the ministry going forward, please visit our website, or if you're on YouTube, we got a button at the top of our page. But we love you. We give our glory and honor to the Most High Yah and His Son Yahawah, and we say, y'all bless until we see you again. Peace.
Peace.